This video will contain spoilers. Consider yourself warned. In Season 2, Episode 5 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, we dive into a pivotal moment in Middle-earth's history, the distribution of Sauron's 7 rings to the Dwarves. This episode marks a significant point of excitement for fans, as it brings the dark legacy of Sauron's rings into live action for the first time with such detailed exploration. The Rings of Power introduces these 7 rings with a fresh perspective, contrasting them with the 3 Elven Rings from Season 1, which were crafted without Sauron's interference. Now, the Dwarves are receiving their share, and this event promises to be crucial. The 7 rings were forged with the intention of subtly corrupting their bearers, manipulating them through the guise of gifts. The Dwarves, known for their craftsmanship and resilience, received these rings with the belief they were bestowed out of goodwill. In reality, Sauron's ultimate goal was to use these rings to exert control over Middle-earth's leaders. While the Elven Rings were created independently of Sauron, the Dwarves' rings were a tool in his grand scheme, designed to draw them into his web of influence. On a practical level, these rings enhanced the abilities of their bearers. For the Dwarves, this meant extraordinary advancements in mining and crafting. Appendix A of The Lord of the Rings. The Return of the King hints that the Dwarves could multiply their mind resources. Season 2 of The Rings of Power takes this a step further, showing King Durin III with an almost supernatural precision in locating and extracting valuable resources. His ring granted him a heightened sense of the mountain's depths and the ability to restore light to Khazad-dûm after a collapse. However, this increased confidence also led him to overlook the lurking threat of the Balrog beneath the mountain, a danger he failed to perceive despite his ring's powers. Despite their resistance to direct control, the Dwarves were not immune to Sauron's influence. Their innate greed and desire for wealth were exacerbated by the rings, leading them down a path of corruption. This greed attracted perilous creatures like dragons to their treasure hoards, resulting in tragic losses. Moreover, their relentless pursuit of riches in Khazad-dûm ultimately unleashed the Balrog, a creature that would become a significant threat, famously killing Gandalf the Grey in the Fellowship of the Ring. The fate of the 7 dwarf rings after their initial distribution is also significant. The ring held by King Durin III, known as the Ring of Thror, is central to the series. This ring's history is extensive, although its final destiny remains somewhat ambiguous. Canonically, it was passed down through generations until it fell into Sauron's hands via Thrain. Sauron managed to reclaim 2 more of the rings, while 4 were destroyed by dragons attracted to the dwarves' immense wealth. Gandalf, in The Lord of the Rings, revealed that 4 rings were consumed by dragons, and 1 was lost in Moria, taken by Sauron. The fate of the remaining 3 rings, presumed to be hidden in Mordor, remains unclear, but their power would have waned significantly with the destruction of the 1 ring. The Rings of Power provides a unique opportunity to explore the dwarves at their peak, showcasing Khazad-dûm's grandeur before its fall. This depiction contrasts sharply with the dwarves' plight in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, where they are in exile or recovering from past calamities. The series illustrates how the 7 rings initially brought prosperity, but also paved the way for the dwarves' eventual decline, as part of Sauron's malevolent strategy. The portrayal of the dwarves' rise and fall in The Rings of Power underscores the destructive potential of Sauron's rings. While they brought temporary wealth and power, they ultimately contributed to the dwarves' downfall, reflecting Sauron's dark intentions. As Prime Video continues to delve into the storyline, the repercussions of these events are likely to intensify. What are your thoughts on how the 7 rings are portrayed in The Rings of Power? Share your comments below and let's discuss the impact these rings have had on the dwarves and the broader Middle-earth narrative.